What's up, Habibi gang? Welcome back to the Pundit Habibi podcast. Big Boxing Day matchup coming up in the Premier League. Arsenal versus Ipswich Town. And, the Opta supercomputer has given us some pretty interesting predictions for this one. We'll be breaking those down, looking at the possible outcomes and what this clash means for both teams' ambitions.
It's such a great matchup to have, a top-of-the-table contender in Arsenal going head-to-head with Ipswich, who are fighting it out in the relegation zone.
Yeah, definitely. That classic David versus Goliath clash that makes the Premier League so interesting.
Absolutely. Makes it so exciting, right?
Yeah, so on one hand, we have Arsenal flying high with a 10-game unbeaten run across all competitions.
Yeah, that's right.
And they just demolished Crystal Palace 5-1. Plus, Gabriel Jesus is on fire right now. 5 goals in his last 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, he only managed 1 in the previous 33.
It's quite the turnaround, for Jesus. And we can't forget about Kai Havertz either, Mr. London. All 10 of his recent Premier League goals have come in the capital.
He seems to love the London air, doesn't he?
He does.
But here's the twist. Habibi gang, Arsenal's star boy Bukayo Saka is out for many weeks with an injury.
Ooh, that's a big blow for Arsenal.
It is a big blow. And he's not the only one on the sideline. Ben White, Raheem Sterling, and Takahiro Tomiyasu are all out with knocks as well.
So that's a massive loss for Arsenal because he's been their creative spark this season, involved in 22 goals this season, 9 more than any other Arsenal player. Losing him at such a crucial stage could really derail their title aspirations.
Yeah, it's a great point. Losing your main playmaker is never ideal, especially when you're aiming for the top spot. And let's not forget, Manchester City are breathing down their necks.
Exactly.
There's a chance that Oleksandr Zinchenko might return for this game, but filling the void left by Saka won't be easy.
Precisely. And Arteta has some tough decisions to make. Does he go with the experience of Rice Nelson, or does he go with the raw talent of Marquinhos?
Yeah, who steps up in Saka's absence?
Yeah, it's a tough question.
It is a tough question.
Meanwhile, Ipswich are licking their wounds after a heavy 4-0 defeat at home against Newcastle, and they are currently stuck in the relegation zone, and the Opta supercomputer is giving them a 76.9% chance of going down.
Those are some pretty grim odds for Ipswich fans.
They are indeed. However, there's a glimmer of hope for Ipswich. Their away form this season has been surprisingly decent, and they've actually won both of their league games on the road, picking up twice as many points away, 8, as they have at home, 4.
Oh, wow. So they seem to thrive on the road, defying expectations. Maybe they play with less pressure away from their home crowd.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have shown that they can be, dangerous opponents when they travel.
Definitely.
And let's not forget, they've got Liam Delap back from suspension.
Oh, that's massive for them.
He's their top scorer with 6 goals, double the next highest scorer on the team.
Delap's return is a massive boost for Ipswich. Pace, power, finishing ability, a real threat, especially on the counterattack.
Yeah. Could be a key to unlocking Arsenal's defense, especially with the Gunners missing some key personnel at the back.
For sure.
But let's delve into the head-to-head record between these two sides. This is their first competitive meeting since that League Cup semifinal back in 2011.
Ah, yes, the 2011 clash. What a tie that was. Ipswich actually pulled off a shock 1-0 win at Portman Road in the first leg, leaving Arsenal with a lot to do in the second leg.
Oh, really? So they do have a history of upsetting Arsenal. Could we see a repeat of that famous victory?
It's certainly possible, but Arsenal were a different beast in that second leg, winning 3-0 at the Emirates to progress to the final. Plus, Arsenal have a pretty dominant record against Ipswich in the league, unbeaten in their last 13 league games against them, a streak that goes back to 1984.
1984, that's a lifetime ago in football terms. Thatcher was still in power.
Ancient history. Yeah. But it just goes to show, Arsenal consistently having the upper hand in this fixture. And in fact, Ipswich haven't won an away league game at Arsenal since 1979.
So history's not exactly on Ipswich's side, is it?
Not at all. To add to that, Arsenal are currently on a phenomenal run of 41 unbeaten Premier League home games against promoted sides. They've won the last 12 in a row, and they are just 1 game away from equaling Chelsea's Premier League record.
That's an incredible streak. Talk about home dominance. And, well, let's face it, Habibi gang, what we're all really here for are the Opta supercomputer predictions.
That's right, the moment of truth.
Moment of truth. Let's see what the supercomputer has to say about this Boxing Day clash.
It's predicting an 84.2% chance of an Arsenal win, just 5.8% chance of an upset for Ipswich, and a 10% chance of a draw.
So the supercomputer is heavily favoring Arsenal, which is no surprise given their form and Ipswich's struggles. But are those odds a true reflection of the potential outcome? Can Ipswich defy the odds and pull off a shock result?
That's the big question, isn't it? While the supercomputer crunches numbers and spits out probabilities, football is a game played by humans. Anything can happen on the day.
Absolutely. We've seen upsets happen before, and Ipswich have already shown, they can perform on the road. What does an 84.2% chance of victory actually mean for Arsenal? Is it a guarantee?
Well, nothing's ever guaranteed in football. But statistically speaking, an 84.2% chance of winning means that if this match was played 100 times, Arsenal would likely win about 84 of them.
That makes sense. So while it's not a certainty, it does heavily suggest that Arsenal are the favorites to take all 3 points.
Right. And for a team chasing the title, consistently winning these so-called easier fixtures is absolutely crucial.
Oh, sure.
A win here would take them to 36 points, potentially solidifying their position at the top of the table.
So for Arsenal, this game is about maintaining momentum, consolidating their lead, sending a message to their rival.
For sure.
Well, what about Ipswich? What do these odds mean for their fight against relegation? A 5.8% chance of winning doesn't really paint a very optimistic picture, does it?
Not particularly. It's a tough ask for them, especially against a high-flying Arsenal side. But remember, their away form has been a bright spot this season.
Yeah.
They've managed to pull off some surprise wins on the road, so there is hope that they can replicate that against an informed Arsenal side.
So is there a wise scenario where you see this being anything other than a comfortable Arsenal victory?
Well, it's football,
Yeah.
So you can never rule anything out. Ipswich have nothing to lose, and they can go into this match with a fearless attitude, hoping to catch Arsenal off guard.
I see your point. Sometimes that pressure's off when you're the underdog, and that can liberate a team. But let's be real. Ipswich desperately need points. What would a draw in this game mean for their chances of survival?
A draw would be a fantastic result for Ipswich, give them a valuable point away from home against a title contender, and would be a huge confidence booster. But in the grand scheme of things, 1 point might not be enough to really alter their chances of staying up.
So a draw is a good result, but not a game changer.
Exactly.
But you know what they say? Stranger things have happened in football.
Yeah, that's right. That is true.
They definitely have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about Arsenal's dominance at home. We've talked about Ipswich's, not so great form recently.
Right.
But let's dive a little bit deeper into the tactical side of things. How do you think Arteta is going to approach this game, especially considering all these injuries that Arsenal have?
It's a really good question, and I think losing a player like Saka forces you to rethink your whole attacking approach because he's been involved in almost a third of their goals this season. That right flank has been such a potent weapon for Arsenal, but now Arteta needs to find a different way to unlock defenses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you think he'll stick with the same formation? Or could we see a tactical shift?
Yeah, could we see a tactical shift? He could opt for someone like Rice Nelson, who brings, Premier League experience, or hand a youngster like Marquinhos a chance to shine on the big stage.
It's a tough call because Nelson is a safer option.
He is.
But Marquinhos has that X factor, that unpredictability that could really unsettle Ipswich.
Yeah, that raw pace and trickery.
Exactly.
But it's more than just replacing Saka man for man. Without his threat on the right, teams are likely going to focus on, doubling up on Gabriel Jesus, trying to cut off the supply to Arsenal's main striker.
That's where someone like Kai Havertz needs to step up. We know he loves scoring in London, so maybe this is his chance to become the focal point of the attack, drawing defenders away from Jesus, creating space for others.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Havertz finding his scoring boots would be a timely boost for Arsenal. And let's not forget about Gabriel Martinelli on the left. With Saka out, he could be the one to provide the width and the pace that Arsenal need to stretch Ipswich's defense.
Martinelli's directness and trickery will be crucial in this game.
It will.
Absolutely. All right, well, switching gears to Ipswich's tactical approach, what can we expect from Kieran McKenna's side?
I think we can expect them to, adopt a similar approach to what they've done in their successful away games this season. So they'll likely sit deep, stay compact, and try to frustrate Arsenal.
So a classic counterattacking strategy.
Exactly. Absorb the pressure and then hit Arsenal on the break when they commit too many men forward.
And with Delap leading the line, they have the perfect weapon for that style of play.
They do, yeah.
His pace will be a constant threat to Arsenal's backline, especially if they're pushing high up the pitch.
And it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal's defense, which is missing a few key players itself, copes with Delap's physicality and direct running. William Saliba has been a rock at the back for Arsenal this season.
He has.
But Delap is a handful for any defender.
He is. That battle between Saliba and Delap is one to watch, for sure.
Absolutely.
If Saliba can nullify Delap's threat, it disrupts Ipswich's whole game plan. But if Delap can hold the ball up, bring his teammates into play, could be a long afternoon for Arsenal.
Yeah, it could. Really could.
Another intriguing battle will be in the midfield.
Ooh, yeah.
Martin Odegaard, conductor of Arsenal's orchestra, dictating the tempo, pulling the strings.
Yeah.
But he'll be up against Sam Morsy. Ipswich's captain, midfield enforcer. He'll be snapping at his heels all game long.
Classic clash of styles.
It is.
Odegaard, the elegant playmaker, versus Morsy, the gritty ball winner.
Whoever comes out on top in that midfield battle could really dictate the flow of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's not forget the goalkeepers.
Yes.
Aaron Ramsdale has been a wall for Arsenal this season, making some crucial saves. And Christian Walton has also impressed for Ipswich, keeping them in games with his shot-stopping ability.
You could be the unsung heroes of this game.
They could be.
In a tight, cagey affair.
Yeah.
A single mistake from either keeper could decide the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can't talk about this match without addressing the elephant in the room.
Uh-oh, what's that?
It's Boxing Day, right in the middle of the festive fixture pileup.
Oh, yeah, right.
How much of an impact do you think that will have on both teams?
I mean, it's a period that can make or break a team's season, right? Fatigue sets in, injuries can happen, squads are stretched to their limits. So, for a team like Ipswich, who are already fighting an uphill battle against relegation, this busy period could be, even more challenging.
Yeah, they have a smaller squad than Arsenal, fewer resources to rotate players.
For sure.
So they're going to need to be smart about how they manage their players' workload.
Definitely.
But on the flip side, this congestion could also work in Ipswich's favor.
How so?
Well, Arsenal are chasing the title, so they can't afford to drop points.
Right.
The pressure's on them, so if Ipswich can frustrate them, tire them out, capitalize on any moments of complacency,
oh, yeah,
they might just nick a result.
It's true. Upsets are more likely to happen during the festive period because tired legs and rotated squads can level the playing field somewhat.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe a little bit of holiday magic could inspire Ipswich to a famous victory.
Stranger things have happened on Boxing Day. Stranger things have happened on Boxing Day.
They have.
Okay, so we've talked about the context. We've talked about the form. Yeah. Let's dive into some specific players and some of the battles that we can see on the pitch that day.
Sounds good to me.
I'm really interested to see how William Saliba handles Liam Delap.
That's a great one to highlight. Saliba's been a revelation for Arsenal at the back this season, but Delap is a unique challenge, strong, powerful, loves to run at defenders. If he can get the better of Saliba, it could open up space for Ipswich to exploit.
Absolutely. Another key battle will be in midfield between Martin Odegaard and Sam Morsy.
Yes. Brain versus brawn right there.
It is. Odegaard is Arsenal's creative hub, dictating the tempo, pulling the strings with his passing. Morsy, on the other hand, is Ipswich's tough-tackling, no-nonsense captain. So who comes out on top in that battle could really sway the game.
Definitely. If Odegaard can find space and time on the ball, he can unlock Ipswich's defense.
Yeah.
But if Morsy can disrupt his rhythm and stifle his creativity, it could be a frustrating afternoon for Arsenal.
It really could be. And then there's the battle of the goalkeepers.
Oh.
Aaron Ramsdale has been in superb form for Arsenal, pulling off some spectacular saves this season.
He has.
Christian Walton, meanwhile, has been a solid presence between the sticks for Ipswich.
They're both capable shot stoppers. And in a game like this where chances might be at a premium, their concentration and their decision-making could be vital. A single error from either goalkeeper could be the difference between winning and losing.
So many intriguing battles to look forward to in this one Habibi gang. Tactical nuances, individual duels, and that added pressure of the festive period.
It's shaping up to be a captivating contest.
It really is. This match has all the makings of a classic Premier League encounter, drama, tension, and maybe even a few surprises along the way.
I hope so.
All right, well, we've analyzed the stats, we've dissected the tactics, we've even explored some of the potential game changers.
Yeah, we have.
But now it's time to put it all together and deliver our predictions for this Boxing Day showdown.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
It is the moment you've all been waiting for, no time for messing around. Habibi gang, we're going straight for the jugular.
Let's do it.
First up, my prediction.
Okay.
Logic tells me Arsenal, gut tells me Arsenal, and even my heart, which usually has a soft spot for the underdogs, is leaning towards Arsenal.
Wow, okay.
I think their quality will shine through Despite the injuries, I'm going for a 3-1 victory for the Gunners.
Solid, comfortable win for the home side. I can see that happening, but what about a bold prediction?
Bold prediction time. Let me see.
A surprise goal scorer, a red card, a dramatic late twist.
I am going to say Emile Smith-Rowe comes off the bench and bags the screamer.
Ooh, I like that one.
The lad has been hungry for minutes, and I think this could be his moment to make a statement.
A little bit of magic from Smith-Rowe, that would certainly get the Emirates buzzing.
Hey!
Okay, my turn. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Ipswich will frustrate Arsenal for large periods of the game, maybe even nick a goal on the counter.
Okay.
But ultimately, Arsenal's class will tell, and they'll grind out a 2-1 victory.
So you're predicting a nervy, hard-fought win for Arsenal. A potential banana skin for the title chasers.
Exactly. It won't be a walk in the park for Arteta's men. They'll need to be patient, disciplined, and clinical to secure the 3 points.
Okay, Habibi gang, there you have it. Our expert predictions for this Boxing Day clash between Arsenal and Ipswich.
But remember, this is the Premier League where anything can happen, form can go out the window, upsets can occur, and moments of brilliance can change the course of a game.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from the statistical analysis, the historical context,
The tactical nuances.
key individual matchups.
We've explored just about every angle of this Boxing Day clash.
But now it's over to you. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Do you agree with our predictions? Who are you backing to come out on top? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Pundit Habibi podcast for more in-depth football analysis and banter, Habibi gang.
Until next time, stay passionate about the beautiful game.
We'll see you next time, Habibi gang.
See you later.